in the upper left, losing the first game. Can he come back? One of the best Zergs in the world. Certainly the favorite here. He is
MVP DongRaeGu.
in the bottom right, playing brilliantly in the previous game.
Almost genius-like.
Yeah, almost, almost genius-like. You might need to say he is
MVP Genius.
genius.
All right, so
You know, you have to have a certain attitude to call yourself genius.
yeah,
And then you have brilliant play like this. He's like, yeah, that's why I named myself Genius.
well, you know, this is actually just kind of funny to me because Genius, as I keep saying, you know, Taste keeps saying, he's like this player that kind of just wins, and you never really know exactly why. He's never really a contender.
He's never been knocked out of Code S, has he? He's never actually.
He's been an up and down, but he's always come back, I believe.
Okay, that's right. He's never been knocked into Code A, is what I mean.
Yeah, I think something like that. Like, it's certainly not the other old Code A. Maybe this new one where he just won one match and came back or something, you know? But anyways, I was joking earlier with some GSL people that, like, yeah, I think DRG is going to make it out for sure. And they're like, who else, though? This is kind of a hard group to say. And I'm like, you know, I figure somehow Genius will sneak out of this group.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll be
what you
that
said.
was a joke.
Our Joseph was, then Genius will make a Void Ray and somehow get out of this group.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Take a look here. This shows you guys how new DRG is.
Yeah.
It wasn't until July that he really started making a name for himself, and then he just kind of spiked up into, you know, Code S.
In fact, it was at you see the Super Tournament was right before his first Code A. And that was the time where DRG started to get a real big name when he got second place to SC in that 3D tournament right before Super Tournament Finals.
And that Genius, as we said before, I guess he has been knocked into Code A.
No, that was... Oh, well, he hit it in that last November, but came right back out. You know how you...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he came out of there pretty darn
But anyways,
quickly.
I mean, he's been pretty consistent since the get-go. In the season 1 of our tournament, a lot of players were saying, this is the guy.
When he got eliminated, people were cheering in the streets.
People were like popping champagne bottles open.
Yeah, because like Genius back then, I remember I'd hit him on the ladder and be like, "Oh my God, this is so hard."
When he does win his games, when he does win his games, man, he does generally win the series. When he wins his first game, excuse me, he tends to win the series.
You know, I think we're never going to see someone with a losing record in that category.
Yeah, I guess that's actually.
Normally, what I do is I win the first game to go too. It's like,
but you know, it'd be interesting to see actually if there was a player where there was that statistic.
Yeah, I would just start throwing the first game.
You just make sure there's, I don't know, guys, statistically I should win the next 2.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good bet.
All right. I'm really stoked to see what Build Genius does. He's already gotten his 3rd gas, and that is an important thing. DRG's scouting the map perfectly. He's gotten his 3rd base off of no gases yet. He really loves this very mineral-intensive opening. And, of course, a Stargate just went up. So, there it is. Void Rays, man. Genius loves them.
Now, from here, what would you, if you were DRG, let me show a little example. If you were DRG's coach, what would you say to him to do in this game?
Well, here's the thing. They're both on MVP, so I think if you tell DRG, you're like, listen, I watched all his replays.
I actually just forgot, yeah. They're actually both on
SC
MVP.
is on MVP as well. This is like the MVP group, man. It's MVPs and EG. Or JYP and the MVP players.
Actually, I wonder if that's actually one of the reasons why Genius did so well against
Oh, it definitely
He's
could
just
be.
looking at his play style and saying, well,
you know, these two obviously have to practice a lot together, you know? So he definitely knows a lot about his play style. And in fact,
clearly, also, Genius is quite good on this map, as you can see. Please go ahead.
But, you know, actually, when you think about it, remember MVP actually won GSTL, right? So And everyone was saying how the team was led by DRG and stuff, but actually Genius came out at the end of the season and started kicking ass.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these two obviously play a lot together, two of the best players on the team.
Looks like we got to have a 6-gate here.
Yeah, 6-gate with a single Void Ray. You know... Oh, he's following up with Phoenix. Okay, because I was like, you know, one Void Ray, really?
Is that really worth it?
Really? I'm not sure. Ah, jeez. Maybe it's a trick on a trick. But all right, he's going to make some more units out of there, so I'm fine. I can calm down now. In the meantime, DRG doing basically the exact same build.
Yeah,
both players,
armor again.
Both players doing very similar builds. The only difference being no second Void Ray and Phoenix's instead, and one more gateway rather for Genius, which fits in well with not the second Void Ray.
Spore crawlers being thrown up. The macro hatchery in the main also going to be planted now.
Some pretty decent creep spreads so far, and that's pretty important. You know, when these 6 and 7 gates come, a lot of times they win just because they're in such a tight area that force fields are so powerful. As we saw on Antigua, for instance, that was a game where he ran out of force fields right at the end. He just barely had enough to go through that thin area and stomp DRG's third. If it was on a more open map like this, it's going to be much harder. I've done that before where I'm clicking too quickly and I like lift drones with every Phoenix.
And then they all just
and
sit
then
there.
I'm like, oh, and then I hit escape and they all drop and I'm like, oh, and I go home.
All right, Warp Gate is about to finish, and that's when the pressure from Genius can really be put on. Double check from Yartos. We had a shot of it earlier. Does Genius, does DRG know for sure that all these gates...
he hasn't seen
he
the
hasn't
gates.
seen any gates.
You have to assume that there are some number of gates.
But the number is what would be so important.
Yeah, if you see like there's 8 gates, that means something. If you see there's 5 or 4, that means something. But there's 6 here. It's, you know, it's a good number of gates. In fact, he might be taking a third base. Yeah, he is. And this is actually, this is something that has been off and on popular with Protosses. Because it's like you have all these gates, so they kind of have to prepare. Because so many Protoss builds are timing attack oriented. But he's actually instead switched into Phoenixes after getting map control with the Void Ray, gotten his 6 gates so he can just produce enough units not to die, and he's taken a third. I kind of like this build. It's cool.
And still doing a great job with the Void Ray. You can even park that right outside the front of the creep at times. Nice, takes out a few drones.
Oops.
Didn't get that last one.
And lost them. That was actually kind of bad.
If you lose the Phoenixes, yeah. But if you get those drones, it's good.
Now this Void Ray is going to be worth a ton here. Look at that. He's like, no, drones, you shall not pass. And going to go ahead and lift up a lot of drones as well. And
I don't think DRG should be on the map like this.
Yeah, no, this is not a great attack. You know, Void Rays put a clock on the roaches already.
The Zerlings did not get to touch a single unit.
I gotta say, I am actually a fan of this build. I really like this build that Genius is doing. It's very smart. He looks like he's safe throughout this entire thing. The Spire's about to finish for his opponent, but he already has a decent number of Phoenixes out to help against that. If you already have a decent number of Phoenixes out and they go Muta, you can be in okay shape. But there is a huge Zergling counterattack going down towards the third base.
All right, he's moving down now.
Oh boy.
Cannon finishes.
So
that won't be enough, I think.
as well. They do have the +1 carapace, so they can deal with those +1 zealots reasonably well.
Nice to stop these Zerlings from going into the main.
Yeah, very well done. In fact, going to put up a sentry, realizing that he needs a force field.
I don't know if DRG can actually win this game the way that things are panning out.
I tell you, no, Genius is playing really, really well. This is going to be the first build order of the season that I steal from my own play to play around with.
No, I know.
Yeah, I was thinking about stealing a couple of Oz's builds, but no, this is the first one that I'm like, all right, this build is neat. This build is cool. It's a slight variation to other builds similar to this that we've seen in the past. And I think he's filled in some of the holes with it with these additional Phoenixes. Like right now, he's making more Phoenixes and getting +1 air attack. So he's going to do well against Mutas as long as he micros very well. It's going to be down to him having a micro level. So that's a good place to be at.
Another attack here. And now backing up.
And DongRaeGu does have Blink. Not using to save that one stalker that died, or the second one. But I love the picking up the roaches when they're trying to run. That is so nice, man. That's like, hey, ha! Here's the attack me fine. You lose some units when you're trying to run. All right, now this is a big clump of mutas. Now, here's the thing about Phoenixes, and I mean how they go against mutas. If the Phoenixes get caught off guard and Genius isn't on top of them, and the mutas kill them all, he's in so much trouble. But look at this, a huge flock of these mutas, 16 in that flock right now, hitting very quickly and suddenly on Genius.
Genius basically on a roll right now, continuing to chrono boost out those Phoenixes.
Oh, this is neat. He sees the mutas, and he's going to go Colossus, because he does have so many Phoenixes.
Yeah, why not?
This is neato, man. This is neat. N-E-T.
Now, with the mutas flying about on these 3 base locations, the Phoenixes there in the cannons, the Phoenixes can basically engage the mutas in such a fashion that the mutas can't really kill the Phoenixes unless the Phoenixes are mismicroed.
Yeah.
It's a great way to kind of control this region without, because you know when you have 3 bases, even if you're like in your main, at one of your bases, they can fly into your main, kill all your cannons, kill some probes, and then leave. And then right when you get there, they just turn around and go somewhere else. The Phoenixes make this much safer.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful because the mutas will beat them in a fight. There's just so many more of them. Wow, this is really neatness. All right, so. Oh, and he's lost.
Oh, perfect force fields.
Genius right now trying to do as much damage as possible to these mutas. Oh, and he's losing a lot of Phoenixes in the meantime, but this attack, very big. Can he get that Nexus?
Wow. It's getting low. It's in the no, he's going to save it.
Yeah, he's going to save it, man. You know, the one penalty he did pay for that is he lost every Phoenix.
Yeah.
So he's down to his, well, actually, no, wait a minute, he did save a few of them, I guess. Wait a minute, he has Phoenixes somewhere. Where are they?
Are they in the main?
They're there. Okay, he has a few with his army still. But he lost a lot of Phoenixes during that, for sure.
Well, everything that DRG has thrown at Genius this game has not worked out. All right, the Void Ray is going to go down. And Genius right now not focused on the Phoenixes at all.
You know, DRG's at least doing a good job keeping on his side of the map. By the way, he is maxed out. Despite like losing a ton of units so far, he is maxed out.
See, how many drones does he have when he does this? He
81.
has 81.
DRG's pretty damn good, man. I did not expect to look up and see him maxed out with a decent bank, and I mean, he's still kicking some ass.
Well, this goes to show you why he's so scary. Is he's clearly able to get himself set up so that his Zerg machine can just constantly produce an attack. Even if he makes some mistakes, he's okay.
Yeah. Now he does have some Corruptors mixed in. Those are going to be really powerful in this situation. He has a few Hydras even mixed in, which is interesting. He's getting a Baneling Nest at the moment.
All right, the Zerlings, the Roaches, the Hydras moving back now. You can see DRG kind of trying to bait out that Protoss army, so he could probably run around it a little later. No, now actually attacking in.
And, well, he's going to kill off a lot of Phoenixes with this, but in comes the Blink. The Corruptors going for it. Are they going to... They're actually not attacking the Colossi. They're attacking Phoenixes right now. So the Phoenixes taking a lot of damage meant for Colossi.
Very miscontrolled there from DRG. He should have hit the Colossus, got rid of that, because the Colossus just melted all the Zerglings.
And DRG doing a little counterattack with these mutas, but they've taken a lot of damage. And we do have 3 Phoenixes out still, but a lot of those mutas are red and orange, so the Phoenixes could be used, but instead he is just kind of attacking with everything he's got. A huge counterattack by DRG right now.
Yeah, he's moving in right now, and we might be in somewhat of a base trade scenario, because there's almost no way to stop that many Zerglings and Mutalisks in the position that Genius is in right now.
Oftentimes, we do have base trades when mutas are on the map, and especially when you go Colossus tech. I mean, if you have High Templars at home with cannons, sometimes you can hold it off, but certainly not against this. So this is a base trade scenario that we are in. Both of them at 160-ish supply. I don't know who's going to win this.
In this situation, you always want to go right to the Zerg's main over all other things, or actually just kill the tech structures. Just go to the place with the tech structures, because that is what's going to stop Zerg from making any more of an army. Now the army here for DRG is actually a little bit weaker than the army for Genius.
Yeah. And And here we go. Does Genius have enough to actually hold on here?
Looks like he does.
I think you're right, Tasteless. There's a decent number of Stalkers, a decent number of cannons, but that's a lot of links to
Look,
tank
he's using,
damage.
he's using the stop micro here on the
Oh,
probes.
beautifully
so
done.
that the Zerglings can't optimize their damage.
He needs to hold position on those Zerglings so they attack those probes. And, oh man, there's basically no army left for DRG. And the thing of, oh man, GG. That's
wow,
just, what an
2-0.
upset. What an upset. But I gotta say, Genius played as such. He had some awesome builds, some great timings, good defense.
Oh, he's cloaked. He just disappeared, Artosis.
Dark Templar.
He's a DT.
Well, great play by Genius. Just great play. Kudos to you, Genius, sir. DRG's like, that's not actually funny.
FML.
He's like, Proto Simba. Genius.
All right, Genius is on the loose right now. And like we say, sometimes, Genius just plays really well. Sometimes I guess our clock falls over. I just realized that's not. We'll get that fixed on the break. Anyway, you don't have long nerd arms. What are you doing? What are you
I got really long nerd arms. Look how long that nerd arm is.
That's not a long nerd arm, man.
You kidding me?
I am.
Look at this one. Wait. How about this one? It goes off the screen. Are you kidding me, Tasteless? They don't. I'm like
When did
holding
this
on
thing
the wall.
fall over? I didn't even.
I don't know.
I like looked down. I was like, something feels weird.
Time
I'm like,
doesn't matter.
I noticed I could see my hand. I don't think I normally see my hand. Genius is good. Now they're teammates and very good friends. Because I'm sure that there's the really sensitive on the internet that's like, he shouldn't have gone in the booth and done that. But they don't care. They're actually just friends. They're buddies. So we're going to go to a quick little break here. And when we get back, who will have DRG against JYP? Right?
DRG? No. We'll have Genius against
Oh, yeah. What am I saying? Genius against SC. Excuse me. So stay tuned. We will see you soon.